Here along English waterways, a new arrival has appeared, a large semi-aquatic mammal that hasn't been seen in the UK for 400 years since it was hunted to extinction in the 1600s, but it is a native animal. It is now appearing across various different parts of the country, through controlled reintroduction programs, to some cases literally it just appeared. However, what exactly is this mammal, which is probably what you're asking, and should it be reintroduced in the UK? It's a very controversial mammal. It has the potential to be very destructive, but also can be hugely beneficial to the environment around it. They are what's known as a keystone species, an ecosystem engineer. They help manufacture environments for other organisms to live in, and so many other animals and plants depend on this animal. In this episode of Wild Bites, we'll be exploring what this animal is, we'll be going out to find it, and we'll be discussing why it's so controversial.
If we go back 3 years, some of you may remember the video where I visited the River Otter in search of beavers. Here we followed various clues of their presence, but in the end never actually saw one. To our surprise, we ended up seeing an otter.
Wouldn't you believe it, that's actually an otter.
Which, to be honest, didn't have me complaining at all. That's only the second time I've actually ever seen an otter. But nevertheless, we're now back at the River Otter, arguably 3 years overdue, and this time we're going to find and film these beavers. And let's just say, to our surprise, this time it didn't take all that long.
Wow, okay, so you're not going to believe what just happened. So we were just filming down by the creek earlier, just giving the intro for the video, and my dad, who I've enlisted as my cameraman today, just behind him we saw a huge sort of rustling in the bushes, and we were immediately quiet, but now we've just come here following this little trail, and believe it or not, it was a beaver. He's just gone further upstream. You can see down here this plant, I'm not sure if it's cow parsley or hogweed, but it's been very recently gnawed on by a beaver. And, well, you can tell it's a beaver because if you look at this clearing around here, there's no sort of river-dwelling mammal in the UK that could create such a mess and a trample like a beaver. And you can see quite clearly here, all the grass is pushed down where the beaver has slid into the water. I'd say they're heavy animals. I think she is somewhere up there. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting to see a beaver so quickly. I was expecting a bit of waiting, a bit of patience, but no, and it's still light as well. So this is absolutely fantastic. So if we keep going upriver, let's see if we can find some more. So I'm a little bit hot and bothered at this point, but I can happily say that this time it's been a success. It's not an otter this time. We have actually seen a beaver. And to be honest, I've never actually seen one close up before, and I forgot how absolutely massive they are. They are the second largest species of rodent in the world. Their teeth are ginormous, and as we walked along the river we could see, and you'll see in my previous video 3 years ago from when we walked on the upper part of the River Otter, all the chisel marks in the wood of where the beaver's teeth have been gnawing all the way through. And beavers' teeth continue to grow. The only way they can actually keep them in check is by continuously gnawing on the wood.
The enamel of their teeth also contains iron, making their teeth remarkably strong. The iron is what makes their teeth bright orange in appearance. So beavers have orange teeth for the same reasons as we have red blood. The River Otter beaver population currently stands at around 15 family groups, and they are continuing to expand and breed. This large female has already reared new generations of young kits. After she peacefully returned to her small burrow in the riverbank, we continued upstream, where we were soon to meet what could have been one of her young kits. Kit is the term given to a young beaver, and we were lucky enough to see 2 of them.
This one looks like a juvenile. It's about half the size of the first one we saw, and I think she's just eating on some reeds at the moment, and now she's having a good scratch. Oh, this is stunning. Absolutely amazing. Wow. Look at those teeth. You can see her teeth. Look at that thick fur. Beaver's fur is incredibly thick, and their fur is actually the reason why they went extinct in the UK. Their pelts were incredibly popular.
Winter beaver pelts are expensive, and clothing such as hats made of beaver pelt were expensive status symbols, especially in Europe. And it's no surprise, their thick fur is waterproof and incredibly dense, providing lots of warmth during winter months. Nevertheless, with these ages over, the beaver is now bouncing back and is increasing all across Europe. Which begs the question, Why is this charming and charismatic animal so controversial? And should we be letting it spread across the UK?
Now, of course, the beaver's most charismatic behaviour is its ability to build dams, and inevitably that is going to cause flooding. And if you're a farmer who's planting crops near the river and your land gets flooded, then it can be a huge problem in terms of getting their revenue and selling their crops. It can also be an issue if the river lacks a buffer zone. The buffer refers to trees being planted along the riverbed that intercepts any water running off into the stream. But it also means that there's less roots to absorb the water. It means the soil becomes much more saturated. And this can be a huge issue for public footpaths. It can cause degradation in infrastructures such as public footpaths, roads, and even large structures such as bridges. So this, as you can imagine, is a huge problem.
This is an example of a beaver dam we came across in Scotland. And, well, you've got to hand it to them, they're pretty incredible animal architects. But the flooding they can cause is certainly no joke.
However, I think that we should be giving beavers here a chance. They could be hugely beneficial to the UK countryside. We mentioned about their ability to cause floods. Now, whilst this may cause floods behind their dam upriver, it can also be hugely beneficial in terms of reducing downstream flooding, and the UK is pretty notorious for that. The dams have also been shown to be able to filter out harmful chemicals, such as fertilisers, slurry, and this prevents further downstream pollution. Now, we see in various parts of the world what happens when huge amounts of, especially inorganic fertiliser, are leached into the waterways. They create large areas known as dead zones, which are devoid of life because it's basically poisoned. So beavers may help reduce this. Now, I think one of their most significant benefits is their ability to boost biodiversity. And beavers are fantastic at doing so because of their ability to create more permanent bodies of water behind their dams. And if we look under just one of these rocks, we can already find multiple species of small invertebrates that depend on permanent bodies of waters, not just to feed but to also lay their eggs and reproduce. Long-term studies have shown that permanent bodies of water created by beavers have provided homes to rare UK species such as the water vole, rare waterfowl such as the teal. And it's also been shown to boost numbers of other animals such as bats, which feed on the insects that breed in the pools created by beavers. So if the UK wants to boost their local biodiversities, beavers could be the answer.
Beavers can also create permanent bodies of water, which can be vital during drought season. This will become more relevant for the UK as we experience hotter and hotter summers.
Beavers could be a fantastic opportunity to see the UK rewild, to see more rare species return back from the brink, and to help our fight against climate change. Now, sure, we may know some of the negative impacts that introducing these species may have, but I can assure you they will not compare to what happens if we take these native species away. If you remove keystone species, you can face ecosystem collapses and cascades of extinction. 2021 is seeing the largest reintroduction programme of beavers in the UK. But what is your opinion on whether we should reintroduce beavers or whether we should keep them out? I'd be very interested to hear what you have to say, so please let me know in the comments. And I look forward to seeing you all in our next video.